Two rich guys laughed at the dumb mechanic fixing their $80,000 car. They had no idea I helped design that car's computer system. I have always been a quiet guy, and in my line of work, people usually take that for weakness. My name is Elias, and I run a small, independent auto shop on the edge of town. Last Tuesday, these two guys rolled in, driving a pristine, vintage European sports car that looked like it belonged in a museum, not on my dusty gravel lot. They were wearing suits that cost more than my entire inventory, and they looked at my grease-stained coveralls like I was something they'd stepped in on the sidewalk. Now, here is the thing they didn't know. Before I opened this shop, I spent 10 years as a high-level software engineer for the very company that manufactured their car. I literally helped design the diagnostic interface they were currently trying to bypass. Listen, buddy, the taller one said, flashing a blindingly white smile. The engine's making a clicking sound. We just need a quick patch-up so we can get it to a real collector in the city. Don't overthink it, just make it run for another 50 miles. His partner, a shorter guy with shifty eyes, leaned against my workbench and started tapping on his phone. He didn't realize I had a mirror positioned behind him to check for blind spots in the shop. I could see his screen perfectly. He was texting a buyer, bragging about how they'd successfully masked a massive frame crack with industrial filler and a fresh coat of paint. This grease monkey won't notice a thing, he whispered to his friend, thinking I was too busy under the hood. He looks like he can barely read a manual. We'll get the all-clear paperwork from him, sell the lemon for 80 grand, and be halfway to Vegas by midnight. I felt a heat rising in my chest, but I kept my face totally blank. I just nodded and wiped a smudge of oil off the fender. It'll take me about an hour to run the full diagnostic, I said, keeping my voice low and a bit raspy. Perfect, the tall one replied, checking his gold watch. We'll go grab some lunch. Just try not to break anything, okay? As soon as their rental car pulled out of the lot, I didn't go for the wrench. I went for my laptop. I plugged into the car's internal computer and pulled the historical sensor data. It was worse than I thought. Not only was the frame compromised, but they tampered with the odometer, rolling back over 40,000 miles. That isn't just a finesse. That's a federal crime. I also noticed a small, hidden GPS tracker tucked under the dashboard. It wasn't theirs. It belonged to a private investigator. These guys weren't just scammers. They were being followed. When they walked back in an hour later, smelling like expensive steak and arrogance, they found me sitting in a lawn chair in front of their car, sipping a lukewarm coffee. Is it done? The short one asked, reaching for the keys on my belt. I found the clicking sound, I said, standing up slowly, but I also found the hidden partition in your ECU where you stored the original mileage logs, and the digital signature of the frame integrity bypass you installed last night. The silence that followed was heavy. The tall guy's smile vanished instantly. What are you talking about? He stammered, his face turning a sickly shade of gray. I'm talking about the $80,000 fraud you're trying to pull, I said, leaning in close, and I'm talking about the private investigator currently parked at the gas station across the street who's been waiting for a reason to call the state troopers. The short guy started towards me, but I just pointed to the security camera directly above us. I've already uploaded the diagnostic report and your text messages, which I saw in the reflection, by the way, to a secure server. I told them, you have exactly 5 minutes to leave this car here, walk to that bus stop, and never show your faces in this county again. You can't keep our car, the tall one yelled. It's not your car, I replied, tossing a printout of the registration on the hood. It's reported stolen out of Florida. I checked the VIN while you were eating lunch. I watched the realization hit them like a freight train. They didn't argue. They didn't fight. They literally turned around and started jogging toward the main road, leaving their polished trophy behind in the dust. I didn't call the police right away. I called the original owner in Florida, a retired teacher who'd had the car stolen from her garage 3 months ago. When I told her it was sitting in my shop, safe and sound, the way she cried, well, that was worth more than any repair bill I could have ever written. Never underestimate the guy in the greasy coveralls. We see everything, and we remember even more. I didn't call the cops immediately. I called the real owner first. Did I do the right thing? Yes or no?